Well, as the holiday season is here, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate from us at the Jet Press. I'm Mike Luciano. Justin Fried will be here in just a bit. This is a game, I'm going to be honest. I'm not just saying this because I'm in the holiday mood here. If you're really upset about this game, if you have a grinding, passionate hatred for what the New York Jets did in this game, quite honestly, get over yourself. We're witnessing a team in the NFL because it's hard to tank in the NFL because of the physical nature of it. We are witnessing about as close to an actual tank job as you can see in the NFL right now. They are playing a guy who I don't think is an NFL quarterback at this point. We thought Brady Cook might be a backup if he hits some developmental checkpoints. I don't think that anymore. I think he's not an NFL player. I think that the Jets right now, if anything, showed some promise because I think Chris Harris immediately is an upgrade over Steve Wilks. I think that there are players that are going to be here next year that I think played pretty well. And I think that they helped their draft position, which they did because they lost. The Browns really gave Buffalo all they could handle, but they ended up losing, so they don't pass them. Currently, if the season ended today, thanks to the Titans pulling out a victory against the Kansas City Chiefs, right now the Giants and Raiders are the only two-win teams. They have number 1 and number 2, respectively, as Justin Fried joins in. Cleveland is number 3. The Jets are number 4. The Titans are number 5. Even if Arizona wins, they would go to number 5, and Tennessee would go to number 6. So they would still be below the Jets. Justin,
Yes, sir.
I can't get any passionate emotions about this game. I know that I think the scoreline is not indicative of how close this was as a game. I think the defense with Chris Harris immediately, without him putting any of his real plays in or any of his real installs in, because he doesn't have an offseason for that, I think he looked immediately much better than Steve Wilks. I think there is some hope in looking at individual players on this defense and saying they're going to be a lot better next year just because they don't have Steve Wilks. And I think that's true. And I think players that are going to be here next year played pretty well. But, man, Brady Cook, not an NFL player. I don't want to say I'm taking a victory lap, but one thing that I found I'm getting very sensitive to as an analyst is whenever players or fans of a bad team look at a player who doesn't play a lot and they go, oh, not only do I want to see him play, but he's going to be an upgrade. He's what we need. Admittedly, sometimes you're guilty of this with Brandon Smith in my eye. Oh, Brandon Smith should be on the 53, and then he never plays ever. After weeks and weeks and weeks of Brady Cook, we got to see him. We got to see him. Well, you saw him. Are you happy? I don't think fans are happy.
Okay, well, the Brady Cook conversation is twofold. By the way, if I sound a little raspy, I kind of lost my voice a little bit this weekend, so that's partially why. But yeah, I mean, look, Brady Cook's bad. This was as bad of a performance from a Jets quarterback that we've seen this year, and that is saying a lot because there have been a number of Justin Fields stinkers that were, to a level where we said the guy was unplayable, and I thought Brady Cook today was unplayable. I thought before this game, he had at least held his own kind of as an undrafted player, looked like he could potentially, be an NFL player. And not to say that one game means he can't, but this was not an NFL caliber performance by any means. I think the box score numbers will probably look a little bit better than even his last game, but it was really bad. I think Samini tweeted out a stat after the game that the Jets' longest air yards completion in this game was 9 yards. I mean, that's despicable.
Was that the one to Mitchell at the end, I think?
Yeah, I believe it was nine air yards on that play, and then he ran for an extra, a few yards. I believe that was the Samini stat, but that you can't function as an NFL offense with quarterback play like that. So before I want to be, too hard on the Jets here, which I will be critical of them. First, obviously, again, objectively, a loss here, better for the future of the organization. Losing to the Saints. This was the one game that the Jets really kind of had to lose. It's nice to see Tennessee beat the Chiefs, and now the Jets have jumped up to number 4 in the draft order. Really looking ahead to that Raiders-Giants game next week, and now with the Chiefs situation with Gardner Minshew likely out for the rest of the year, you have Chris Oladikin, I believe is how you pronounce his name, right? Is that
I like the cut of his jib. He made some plays.
Really? Well, I don't want to hear that.
I mean, he didn't make a ton of them because they lost. What was it, 26-9? But he actually looked better than Minshew from what I saw. So
wow. Well, I want him to look as bad as possible because the next 2 games that the Raiders play, and the Raiders are obviously the Jets' number 1 competition for quarterback in this class. Yeah, the Browns are there too, but the Raiders, they currently they wouldn't hold the first overall pick because the Giants are there, but that next game is going to determine a lot. The Raiders play the Giants and the Chiefs, their final 2 games of the season. They play the Texans right now, but they're not. If they win that game, then awesome, amazing. They're not going to win that game. But those are 2 extremely.
I believe they're the first team to get shut out twice in a season since like 2000. They might make it 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to do it against anyone, it'd be the Texans, right? Like this is an amazing defense. But yeah, all that is to say that a loss was objectively the best thing for this franchise. That said, Mike, I can't sit here and say that I'm not at least a little concerned that they just lost 29-6 to a 4-win Saints team. I understand the context of you started an undrafted rookie at quarterback, right? And he was horrific in this game. And I understand the context of, it was a little, garbage time piling it on. I thought the defense was very encouraging signs in the defense in the first half. Did not get that.
Sherwood especially was the biggest benefactor of the switch away.
I thought Sherwood was flying around on the field. I thought Malachi Moore had a really good game until that last touchdown that he gave up. I thought Moore was playing a very good game, and then unfortunately just blew it at the end with that garbage time touchdown where he just kind of – I get it. They were selling out in the run. They really didn't think the Saints would be throwing there, but, man, that was a tough look. But, yeah, I mean, 29-6 to a 4-win team is just – it's a really tough look. And I understand that, look, it's better for the organization to lose this game. And you're shorthanded at quarterback, and your defense is very shorthanded too. And you're clearly like the best way I could describe the Jets right now is I don't want to hear Aaron Glenn say that they're trying to win. Like they're trying to.
They're not.
They're obviously trying to win on game days, but they're not putting themselves in a position where they're trying to win, trying their hardest to win games. They're not trying their hardest to lose games, but they're certainly not trying their hardest to win. If they were trying their hardest to win, Tyrod Taylor would be the starting quarterback. Garrett Wilson would be back from IR. Tony Adams and Isaiah Oliver would not be on IR right now. They wouldn't be starting Dean Clark and Jordan Clark and guys who are just not NFL players. I'm sorry, Jordan Clark has been horrific. I'm at the stage. I know you're in evaluation stage.
I think if his dad is not Ryan Clark, he's not even on the practice squad.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but all I know is I know we're still in evaluation stage. I would give someone else a shot because he's not an NFL player.
He's just not.
He got abused the last.
His name's Jordan Fried. He's not playing.
Maybe not.
He's not.
Maybe not. But yeah, I know that the announcers were kind of singing Quantez Stigger's praises a lot. He allowed 6 catches in this game for 91 yards. Did not think it was he had a really good pass breakup, in the end zone. Outside of that,
they did throw 50 times too. So
they did. Actually, I should say this. So he was, I don't want to cherry pick here. He was targeted 12 times. Jordan Clark, by the way, targeted 11 times. Do you know how many catches he gave up?
8.
I didn't even see this until right now, by the way.
Was it 8?
It was 10.
Whoa.
Catches.
I was giving the guy too much credit.
I want to make this clear. My thoughts on Jordan Clark, the opinion I just gave, that was before I looked at those stats. So that was not even I'd already just watching him. I was like, this is not an NFL player.
Oh, good Lord.
Will McDonald woke up for his one drive a game that he wakes up.
Yeah, he was beating Banks in the second half. Of course, it didn't matter because the game was out of hand by then. But
1 or 2 drives, he was doing stuff, and then the rest of the drive was complete zero. Jermaine Johnson was a 0 in this game. There's just too many black holes on this defense, and that's why I don't want to be too hard on Chris Harris. And I'll start with, I guess, let me say a couple positives from the first.
If Wilkes was the DC, I think they give up 40.
They might, because I think in the first half specifically, it felt like the Jets were prepared. It did not feel like they were schematically outmatched. I understand that. I think Tyler Shuck had over 200 yards at the half. They also had
32 pass attempts or something.
Near 50 plays that they ran in the first half. The Jets have had, I think, 1 or 2 games this year where they've not run 50 plays in a game. The Saints had 50 play or near 50 plays, like 48 plays in the first half. They only averaged 4.9 yards per attempt or yards per play, I think, for the game. But in the first half, they were only averaging 4.9 yards per play. I thought that the defense looked prepared. I can point to a couple examples. The 4th and 1 sneak that was sniffed out by the defense. There were multiple Jets players heard on the broadcast yelling out, sneak, 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 once Taysom Hill went in motion. That's film study, right? That's game prep. That's coaching. That's the Jets being prepared for that situation and making a play when it needed to be made. I would also point to even as simple as this, right? Like minute details where it's second to last play of the first half. The Saints are trying to get a closer field goal attempt. They end up settling for that 61-yard field goal, but they're trying to get a closer field goal attempt. Chris Harris lines up Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage at the boundary, right? Because with like 6 seconds on the clock, the only play the Saints could possibly run there, because they have no timeouts, is a little 5-yard out. The Jets stick defenders right at that spot. I can't remember the last time I've seen a coach do that, right? But that was a very, very, a very smart situational awareness from Chris Harris and the Jets. So it's stuff like that that I haven't seen them do this year.
And they played harder too, just effort wise. You can tell. I think.
Yeah, they gave up.
The defense. I think maybe kind of quiet quit on Wilkes, and I think there was just a little more energy there.
They did. I do think the whole team kind of quit in the second half, but I think that was more because of like
Brady Cook just depressed them all.
Yes. It was like, wow, this quarterback stinks, and we're not even getting a shot in this game. I don't think that was as much the staff. So that would be like my takeaways of encouragement, right? Sherwood, I thought, had a good game. Jawan Briggs is the best player in this defense, and
what a find!
I don't even
what a find
that he is so freaking good. Offense, I thought Brees did the best with what he was given. Right?
Yeah. O-line was not as bad as the sacks will make
it seem. We reached Justin Fields levels of sack inflation from the offensive line.
Zach Wilson even. I remember that. Remember that one game against the Chargers? He got sacked like 9 times.
Yeah. Like I don't think this was a good offensive line performance. There were a couple of clean wins, and I think the run blocking especially was very bad in this game. I don't think it was a good O-line game. It wasn't 8 sacks bad. Right. I don't know if this Jets offensive line is capable of having an 8 sack bad performance. Right. But yeah, that's most of my takeaways from this game. I don't have too much else to say. You got anything to add, Mike?
I can't find it in me to get particularly mad about, because Chris Banjo was whatever, no special teams things either way. I can't find it in me to get really upset about Aaron Glenn, Tanner Engstrand, or Chris Harris in this game. Yeah. Harris, Jordan Clark and Quantez, like you're seeing that this is legitimately, this felt like Wilkes against Baltimore and New England kind of, where I think he held them kind of in check, and it's like, all right, you kind of, what do you want him to do schematically? Like, he doesn't have anybody talent wise. Yeah. Engstrand, look, 6 points is 6 points, but he was doing things to work around Brady Cook. They barely threw the ball downfield at all. I mean, 9 yards was the long one. They're running the ball a lot more. They cut the field in half for him. Like, he tried everything possible, and Brady Cook just let him down. And again, Aaron Glenn, like, look, we know the situation he's in. Fans are just miserable, and a lot of fans like the Jets being miserable. It's a part of their identity. So they're never going to be happy with Aaron Glenn. Because if he won this game, they would have ruined the tank, and, glad we got that culture win in Atlanta. I've heard that like 5 times. And then if he loses, well, he's an idiot. Like, nobody's ever going to be happy with him. He brought in Fields. So what, 0-7, you should have fired him? Like, that was it? Nothing else after matters? Like,
I understand fans being miserable. Like, I get it, man. And again, like 29-6 to the Saints shouldn't happen. I don't care who you're starting at quarterback.
It was 20. Like, if it was 22, Taysom Hill, that throws offline. Are you that mad?
I mean, yeah. There was some elements of I don't know. I don't want to say luck, but 1 or 2 plays here or there that could go the other way. But yeah, at 29-6 is just it's tough to stomach. I'm not mad about it, but I'm not happy that this was the outcome. I'm happy they lost, again, objectively speaking, best for the organization, but I would have liked a competitive close loss. And I get that with the quarterback play they got, that was really tough to do, right? It's just really hard to have a competitive tough loss. By the way, Aaron Glenn was asked after the game if he had considered benching Cook at any point. He said no. He said that
we're tanking here, guys.
Yeah, and there's going to be 2 parts to this. He said that he believed Cook gave him the best chance to win, which no, he doesn't.
That's a lie.
And then second, but he also added that there was an evaluation component to it as well. And he wanted to see Cook compete in a close game, which he did not the last couple of games. Unfortunately, that also did not happen in this game. And it was
it was close for most of it.
Yeah, and then it was Brady Cook's fault. It wasn't close.
And then that's why it wasn't, because he screwed up. That last pick, man. I mean,
it was terrible. It was in some cases worse than some of the Fields performances. Like, I think some of the Fields performances were more inept because
Fields was more frustrating because he was so scared.
Yes,
His plays were there and he didn't make them because he was scared to turn the ball over and over. Cook is frustrating because it's just an assault on the eyes.
Cook wasn't taking chances at all and also turning it over. It's like, that's the worst of the worst. That is the worst of both worlds.
How do you do that?
Fields at least wasn't turning the ball over. Right. Fields wasn't turning it over. He just wasn't playing quarterback. Brady Cook wasn't playing quarterback and was turning the ball over.
I don't know how you do that. Not to go and declare Chris Harris the next Vic Fangio either after a performance like this where you give up 29 points to a rookie quarterback. But one thing that because we didn't really get to talk about Steve Wilkes, like the firing of that, is...
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have done, not because like of a tank for tank reasons or anything like that. I think it got to a point where just the team was just going to revolt if they kept him.
I think that was a big reason Glenn made the decision. I think that was the biggest reason, was that the players were pretty much, like you said, quiet quitting on Wilkes and had expressed their displeasure on multiple occasions.
But I think one of the things I was concerned about, why I would have either done it earlier or not done it at all before there was a mutiny going on, was I would have liked more games to evaluate Harris, because he's going to get 3 games with barely NFL level talent. I mean, Jordan Clark is one of his starting cornerbacks. He got 10 catches in an NFL game. So he's going to that. And then he gets to play New England and Buffalo, both of whom are probably going to play their starters because they need these games for playoff positioning. So that's a tough ask.
Yeah, I guess.
So I don't know if we're going to really see Chris Harris. Like, I don't know if Chris Harris just looked good because I don't know if it's like Todd Downing, where he's just average to below average, but he's not the worst guy in the league, so it just looks better by comparison, or if he's legitimately a good DC. So I think that kind of clouds the water a little bit for the whole DC search in 2026.
I know we want the Giants to lose, although you could make the argument that we don't, because, obviously you have the Raiders up there, and maybe we don't want the Giants to lose until the Raiders lose. But I know we kind of, in some cases, might want the Giants to lose. The Bills winning today is big because that's going to keep them alive in the division race. Like they're only a half game back from New England right now. And I know somebody in chat, JJ, we'll get to a lot of comments in a second, but JJ asked, will the Bills need the game last week of the year? I hope they don't rest guys. They're not going to rest guys at this point. Like, they're fighting for that division. And even if they're not, like you say they lose, who do they play next week? Who do the Bills play next week?
It was somebody. God damn it.
Well,
obviously they're playing somebody, but
they play the Eagles.
Eagles, all right.
So if they lose next week and the Patriots win, now I'm going to ask you who the Patriots play, because I don't know who they play. Patriots,
they play Jets.
Oh, of course, yes. All right, so the Patriots are winning next week. If the Bills lose next week, which they could lose to the Eagles, I would pick Buffalo to beat the Eagles, but they totally could lose that game. They would be the Patriots still have to play this week. So who do
they play the Ravens tonight?
So I would like the Ravens to win that game. I don't know if it's going to happen.
I would too.
In theory, if the Patriots win their next 2 games and the Bills lose next week, I think the Patriots clinch the division. But
I think so too.
The Bills are probably still playing for a playoff seeding. So I don't think they'll be resting their starters.
They're going to be in it, I think. I can't see. I don't think anybody's ever going to win 11 games and miss the playoffs. I think they're in.
No, they're going to be in the playoffs at this point. But I'm saying they're going to be playing for seeding. I don't think they'll be fighting. I think we're past the point of them fighting for their playoff lives in the last week of the year. But they will be playing for seeding. I don't think they'll be benching their starters.
Quick update: the Cardinals are up 10-0 over the Falcons, which they're a 3-win team. So
that is fun. They're the only 3-win team I believe the Jets have. Actually, no. Now the Tennessee Titans are also a 3-win team. The Jets of the tiebreaker. Well, the Jets
it's a tough spot because, as we mentioned, I've mentioned before, Justin. The nightmare scenario now is if the Jets get the 3rd pick, but the Raiders get 1 and the Browns get 2, then there's no trade up for Mendoza or more.
What's the Browns play Titans, right?
No, the Browns play the Bengals and the Steelers.
They already did. They freaking lost the Titans. That's right. They play they play the Steelers and the Bengals.
Now, if the Raiders beat the Giants next week, they would go to probably in between the Jets and the Titans, so probably 4, and that moves Cleveland to 2 and the Jets to 3, and then you got to move up from 3 to 1.
Look, I'm perfectly fine with the Giants getting the first overall pick.
I really do believe, not that this is like Yankees Mets level, but like I think there's a part of John Mara that like wouldn't want to give the possible savior to the Jets.
But here's the thing. It's actually a weird situation because it's a lot of it is going to depend on if Joe Shane is back next year. Like I don't know what they're going to do there. They should move on.
They absolutely should move on.
They should clean reset, rip off the Band-Aid, but I know there's some stuff going on with John Mara's health, and I don't think he wants to be the one that leads the head coach search by himself. And so I think that's been part of the reason they've been keeping Shane on, and they've wanted him to be there. But I don't know, man. Like I don't know how you can look at this roster and this team right now and say that he's done a good job and should stay there. But if Shane is there, that I think changes the entire Giants approach in the offseason, because now you're again heading into a season where it's like a playoff mandate, right? Like Joe Shane needs to make the playoffs next year if he stays there again, which is crazy because you're going from a team that could have the first overall pick to you have to make the playoffs. That's an insane.
And theoretically, they have their defensive line and they have the quarterback. So
I think in that scenario, I don't even think he would care about 2027 picks, at least not as much. It would be give us the Colts pick, give us a second round pick and maybe something else, like a player or something.
From 3-1, I don't know if it'd be that much, would it?
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe if it's 3-1, no. If it's like 5 or 6-1, then yeah. But if it's 3-1, no. It's probably. I think you can go 3-1, and you give the Colts and a second round pick, which is a lot. But and that's probably more than you'd like to give up. But I think that would get it done. And I think the Giants.
There is a part of me too, because the Raiders still have Geno under contract for a couple more years. I think there's a part of me that hope. I don't think it's super realistic. I think they're going to take a quarterback, but
yeah,
of the two teams that pick, because the Browns have 2 first-round picks because of Travis Hunter trade.
Yep.
I think of those 2 teams that are ahead of the Jets right now, I think it's more likely the Raiders do the let's just get a haul, move back, and build up the rest of the roster before we get the quarterback in 2027. I think they're more likely to do that than the Browns.
I think the Raiders actually. I kind of agree.
And that roster, I think 1 to 53 is the worst in the league. Obviously, next year's class is going to be better. So,
I don't think they would run it back with Geno. I think look. There's like 6 teams that make a lot of sense for Kyler. I think they make a ton of sense.
I just had a thought. What if they do that, and then to get off Geno's contract, I'm coming home.
Oh my no, Mike. Why?
Who else is out there if the Jets don't get Mendoza or more?
Well, if the Raiders don't draft the quarterback, the Jets should be able to get a quarterback.
All right. In this scenario, the Raiders get a quarterback, the Browns get the other one, and then.
So they get a quarterback and Mendoza and Murray.
No, I'm saying like they get the quarterback, but they still move off Geno, just to get off the contract.
Oh, I mean, I don't know, man.
You better than Tyrod.
Ty Simpson. I'm back on Ty Simpson.
Simpson. I think Simpson was pretty good in the playoff.
He was. This was a good weekend because
him being good would help this situation so much.
Oh my god, so much, because then you have 3 viable quarterbacks. Like I feel ready to say that I'm pretty confident Dante Moore.
Okay, Geno Smith 0-4 with a pick and just threw a pick 6 to Derek Stingley. So yeah, let's
look what you're advocating.
Ixnay on the Eno J.
This is my Kirk Cousins take levels of we should not be doing this.
Who would you rather have, Geno Smith or Kirk Cousins next year?
Oh, why Geno?
I think
probably.
Yeah.
I think Geno because
because there were reports literally that Chip Kelly was like calling plays that weren't in the playbook. So I'm like, oh well, no shit, he was struggling.
Geno would be funnier. Geno obviously has had a really bad year, but it's just also a disastrous situation in Vegas. Cousins is half.
Geno going from that line to this line though would be.
I can probably beat Kirk Cousins in a 40-yard dash right now. Like this.
Let's go and get to some comments. Keep commenting. We're going to try to get to a bunch of them. There's a big backlog here. Jeff, we'll start with. Vikings tried to let the Giants win. Man, the Giants are a bad team.
There has not been a team that embodies the more they cannot get out of their own way than the Giants.
The Giants are acting more like the Jets normally do than the Jets are. The Jets are just regular stinky bad with bad players. The Giants are the funny bad this year.
They are inexplicably a 2-win team. They have no business.
They beat the Eagles.
I know. I mean, look, early in the year, dude, they were. Now their roster's all just destroyed and stuff like that. Like for a while, they were competitive in every single game. I mean, they should have beat the Broncos. They gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Denver too.
Like they defy logic. The Giants, they piss me off because they shouldn't be this bad. But again, it could work in the Jets' favor because we would much rather have them land the first overall pick than the Raiders or the Browns.
Brian Sternbeck, Giants can't win unless the Raiders do. Priority number 1 is Raiders don't have the top pick.
That is what I was saying. I agree with that.
I really do. Like, I think if the Browns somehow get the number 1 pick, there's no chance they're not taking a quarterback. That is 1-1. I think I'd say 99% they're taking a quarterback. If the Raiders get it, I might put it at like 75-25 that they take a quarterback.
I'll say this, dude. If
that
the Raiders
roster, like legitimately, you hear all these stories, like Cam Ward in Tennessee. Like you see all these stories about, the number 1 pick went into a horrible team. Like it's literally that again.
This would be. Would it be worse than the Titans when they drafted Cam Ward?
I mean, they have Bowers and Genty and.
Yeah, the Titans have Jeffrey Simmons.
Like it's a better. The offensive line is somehow worse. Could Tennessee actually spend money on it? The guys just suck.
They're at least going to have a new coaching staff, so we'll see who they can bring in. Because
they can't bring Pete back.
There's no shot.
And his sons who ruin the offense. His sons are the quarterback coach and the O-line coach.
look, if the Raiders lose the final 2 games of the season to the Giants and the Chris Oladikin-led Chiefs, they deserve it.
Yeah.
They are the kings of the tank. You've earned the number 1 overall pick. You are indeed. Nobody's going to argue that you're the worst team in the NFL. You are absolutely deserving.
It's not for a lack of trying that they didn't get it.
No, you will out tank everybody if you can do that.
I will say either Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore, who are not particularly mobile guys, going to that offensive line.
Bad. Mendoza. Both of them would be so bad.
Yeah.
Or
from a football perspective, the Jets and the Browns have good interior, but their tackles are terrible. The Jets have the line to give, but they're not going to have the opportunity, probably.
I'm imagining Dante Moore, Kenny Pickett QB battle in the summer.
Huh.
And them sticking with Pickett because they're like, yeah, we can't start Moore, but then quickly being like, oh, yeah, Kenny Pickett's
God. What was that last a week and a half?
Right. It's remember when Tom
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It was like I don't even think he made it out of the first half.
No, he didn't even make it out of the
remember when they started Nathan Peterman over Josh Allen?
Yes.
And they had that hype video of him spinning the ball.
And it's like, it's just, they feel obligated to do it, but everyone knows this guy is dog shit and should not be playing. Yeah, it would be that.
Let's go now with Vinicius. Membu has been overrated. Oh, come on. I'm not even sure they're a top 15 O-line. Give me a break, dude.
No, you're wrong.
O-line's good.
I know this was not a good offensive line game today.
It wasn't 8 sacks bad.
The 8 sacks is inflated. Like, that was very clearly a lot.
How many are on, 3?
I would say 3 or 4 were like clean wins, which that's the most they've allowed in the game this year.
Yeah, but it's not 8.
It was definitely not a good offensive line. I want to see what actually does PFF. We'll see if this changes. I'm sure it will.
They dinged them a lot for like Fields drug them down.
This can't be updated, but right now the PFF is showing that the Jets allowed, like, their offensive line was allowed 1 sack this game. I don't believe that is going to remain.
I'll use it for my narratives.
It also only has them with 5 pressures allowed, so that's clearly just not going to be the case. But yeah, I definitely. No, it shows the full game. It shows all the snaps.
Let's go, Philibongo making fun of Justin here, I think, with hashtag We Want Hooker.
All right, I can't.
Did you do that on purpose? Like, is it funny or?
I'm be honest here, because I put that in our Slack channel first, Mike. But I said we want Hendon Hooker because I was like,
so you did do that on purpose.
So I did.
This guy's a big fat phony.
I'm a phony. I'm a fake.
Well, you know who lives here? A phony lives here.
What actually happened is in our Slack channel, I typed out hashtag We Want Hooker, and I was like, wait a minute.
I don't think that's allowed.
Our bosses are in this chat. Slack's gonna flag me.
They know. They know.
I know, but I didn't want to do that. And then I was like, but I could tweet
that. Let's go Vinicius again. Unless the quarterback they draft is top 12 immediately, Jets aren't winning more than 5 games next season. Not necessarily.
They have
a ton of picks. They have a ton of cap space. I don't think they're going to be great, but they can be better than that.
Did that comment say top 12?
Top 12 immediately.
Oh, that's insane. Then I completely disagree. The Jets they have 3 wins right now. They're not a good team. I know a couple of those wins have been special teams.
They count. You can't just say they don't count.
They have so much draft capital and money to spend this offseason. If they are not a competitive team with a top 20-ish, top 20, even top 22-ish quarterback, then that's a problem. Like that's a big problem. We're talking about
now if they draft a young quarterback and he's not that high because it's young quarterback development stuff, then that's a different conversation.
Yeah. Well, you're not. If you draft a quarterback and you're expecting him to be top 12 year 1, you have a generational quarterback that you just drafted. Like top 12 year 1 is like what? How many quarterbacks have we seen be top 12 year 1? Like CJ Stroud,
Mahomes, if that counts, like his first year.
That was Jaden
Daniels.
It was Jaden Daniels. Maybe Baker. Oh, Herbert.
Herbert.
Herbert was top 12 year 1.
Dak,
but it's
kinda.
You can even maybe that's
yeah.
A lot.
And what 13-3? I mean, I don't know.
Even look at the young quarterbacks that are starring right now. Drake May was not a top. I wouldn't say he was not a top 15 quarterback last year. Was a borderline top 20 quarterback last year. Drake May. Now he's an MVP candidate. Caleb Williams.
I don't think anybody's an MVP candidate anymore except for Stafford now.
Stafford. Yeah, Stafford's probably going to win it, but May's in the conversation, and he's had an awesome year. And I would say Drake May at this point is pretty definitively a top 10 quarterback. I don't think most people are going to be disagreeing with that. But you're not, if you're expecting top 12 quarterback play next year, man, like When is the last time? There's been one time in my lifetime that the Jets, or in my time watching the Jets, that they've had top 12 quarterback play, and that was 2015 Ryan Fitzpatrick, which is crazy.
And then
to
he
say,
cratered immediately after that.
Right, but outside of that, man, like you're going back to Vinny is probably
he was
the last
one of
time
those. I remember that was when Steven Ruiz was emerging with his quarterback rankings, which I don't think he's done in like 2 months, but he had Fitzpatrick, like even that year he had him like in the 30s, and he was like, "This is all luck." He's like, "This is all luck and Brandon Marshall," and then next year he's kind of right. So
Marshall and Decker made life so easy for Fitzpatrick. They made life, and I mean, and Chris Ivory.
I distinctly remember being like, "No, he's really making throws," and then next year he immediately fell off.
That was the last year as well that the Jets had a 1,000-yard rusher, which hopefully Breece Hall, possibly as soon as next game, will hopefully break that streak.
Mike Zimmelman, the fact they haven't gotten interception since my birthday is wild, but hey, maybe it ends week 18. When is your birthday, Mr. Zimmelman?
Well, it would have been
January, yeah,
right?
or last year, yeah, last December, late.
Yeah, the Jets have officially set the record now. They've gone the longest drought without an interception in NFL history of 15 games. They had tied the record last week at 14 with the 2018 49ers, I believe. They have now set that record, 15 games. Although, to their credit, they did have a takeaway today. They have 4. They're closing in, Mike.
You can't objectively say the product they put on defensively, the product they put on today versus the last couple Steve Wilkes games is remotely the same product. It's much better.
No, they gave up 48 and 34 in the last 2 games, respectively. Like that, it was better. I mean, granted, again, they played a worse offense, so that was part of it. But yeah, man, they got a takeaway. They nearly got a second. You could argue they probably should have had a second. We'd be talking about that. I guess that wasn't overturned, but the Aaron Glenn challenge. We'd be talking about that more if we wanted to win this game, because that I feel like the Jets kind of got a little screwed there. So maybe the Jets could have had 2 takeaways in this game.
Jeff, any interest in going after Tua? Oh no. Oh no.
I'm good.
I don't know why I'm like, look, I know that they're similar probably in quarterback tiers, but I would be so much more, I don't want to say excited because I would rather want to draft a guy, but if they get Kyler, I am a lot more excited than if they got Tua.
The ceiling is Mike, I don't think Tua is a starter next year. I don't know if that's a hot take or not.
I think he is, but I think it's like a Justin Fields, like 1 year to prove yourself thing.
But where? Like genuinely Arizona? Where? I think he's competing, if anything. I don't think he's guaranteed a starting job.
Arizona, maybe Pittsburgh.
I think the team views him very differently than or the league views him differently than a Kyler. I think they do view him as a very scheme-specific quarterback, and he's just a tough player to project to your team. So it's kind of like a Field situation in that regard, where it's like, well, you really need to build the offense around his skill set and what he does well. And obviously, Mike McDaniel was able to do that well enough in Miami, but his limitations
he just ran out of steam.
And this year, man, Tua has just been so reckless.
Well, and he gets hurt too, so that's the other thing.
The injury concerns too. Kyler
gets hurt too, but not like concussion hurt.
Kyler is going to have a pretty decent market, I think, this offseason. I don't think Tua is going to have much of a market. That would be my prediction.
Plus, even if he did, they wouldn't trade him to a division rival. Unless it's just a time bomb that they were getting rid of.
I mean, they would. They're like, get off. They want to get rid of them, right? I think the Jets would be doing him a favor if they trade him.
GSD Mickey, what is this grammar? The O-line did bad. There was guys in Cook's like they were in his okay. Like, jeez, dude. Grammarly, it's free, dude.
Grammar was so bad it accidentally made
Cook's butt all day. Okay, that's what it was. No, he's saying it was the O-line's fault. Cook got sacked a lot.
We could be objective. I think
you had to push it through your mouth like a hard candy to even get it out.
There's nuance. Like, I don't think it was a good offensive line game, but I also think Brady Cook exasperated a lot of the issues and made the O-line's numbers look a lot worse than they were. I think I'll say this. I think the O-line was significantly worse run blocking than pass pro in this game. I don't think it was like an amazing pass pro game, but I don't think it was terrible. The run blocking was bad. It was bad run blocking game.
Let's go now. Raphael, 1, 2, 3, ABC. That's how easy love can be. Got to start Tyrod or even Fields. Cook is cooked. There is a debate of this isn't like Jordan Clark, he'll help the tank. This isn't an NFL product. Like, you have to kind of look like you're putting an NFL product out there. And Brady Cook did not do that today.
What I said last week was, and I believe this last week, I didn't believe that this week, was that I didn't think the Jets lost much in the way of evaluation for skill player talent. going from Tyrod to Cook. Obviously, I thought Tyrod was better, but last week I thought you still got plenty of evaluation for guys like Adonai Mitchell and other guys in that offense. I did not think that was the case this week.
No.
You really did not get any evaluation. And Mason Taylor's expected back next week. I'd like to see what he can do down the stretch. I'd like to see what Adonai Mitchell can do, what John Mechie can do. And it's just, you can't have quarterback play like this. So I think they might stick with him for another week. But if he has another game like that,
I think if he has another quarter like that, they probably bench him.
Yeah, I agree. I would say a half. Like if he plays like shit in the first half against Patriots, then maybe they go to Tyrod. I don't know. They could just go back to Tyrod this week. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe they watch the film and they're like, oh, wow, this was, once again, the word of the year, untenable, right? This was a situation that we could not overcome. We cannot have this. We need an NFL caliber quarterback. I promise you, if Tyrod was starting in this game, you do not have 8 sacks. You're just not getting 8 sacks if Tyrod is starting.
Oh, come on, Brian Corum. The OC needs to be fired. Come on.
No.
What do you want him to do here? What did he not do that he should have done?
It's hard for me to fully evaluate like the offensive coordinator in this game, the play calling, because the quarterback play was so bad, but also like the broadcast view limitations. I don't know if guys just weren't open, if guys weren't getting open, if guys weren't schemed open, or if Brady Cook was just not throwing the guys.
Probably a little bit of both, but probably mostly Cook.
Yeah, it's probably a mix. Look, if the offense is this bad, I don't think the OC did good necessarily, but no, and Engstrand has shown more than enough to give me hope that he can be a good play caller in this league. And I think he's had some games where he has been a good play caller this year. He's not
like chopped in that freaking Ted Allen. Oh, you didn't make a dessert with Skittles, rhubarb, and salami. You didn't make that taste good in 20 minutes. Okay. Like, what the hell do you want, Mr. Chopped? Jacob C. If it's just nightmare, then just take Bane. Like if they can't get any of the quarterback.
Bane is going to be an interesting evaluation.
The arms,
the arm length is a little concerning. I am not like, I still am like on board of he's going to be a really good NFL player. I don't know how high his ceiling is, but he's not going to be bad. I feel very confident saying that he is going to be a very good NFL player. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler. Will he be a perennial All-Pro? I don't know about
you
that.
Want one at 3 if you're taking a pass rusher.
Right. That's the point. I would take Arvell Reese over Ruben Bain.
Arvell Reese is going to be one of those guys. I'm just getting James Farrier vibes. He'll be good for the Jets and then leave and then be an All-Pro elsewhere, and the Jets still don't have a quarterback.
Why are you doomsday? You just got on fans for being all negative, and then you say some shit like that.
Because I'm being doomsday about the future, not the present. That's the thing.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, definitely way better.
Yeah. I'm just going off of history and making predictions. I'm not like I'm not mad in the moment. That's the difference.
Sure, you're just depressed.
I guess, yeah. Is that better? I don't know. We'll talk to a therapist about that. David Simpson, a Bama fan. Please, God, no on Simpson holds the damn ball. I mean, no prospect's perfect. I don't even think he holds the ball that much.
Are Alabama fans not like on the Ty Simpson bandwagon?
Alabama fans, they're kind of like Ohio State fans are like this a little bit, but especially Alabama fans because the whole SEC, how it's developed, that's the football team down there. If they lose a game ever, fire everybody, bench anybody, individual games, like you have to go undefeated every year if you're Alabama.
I would instead of pointing fingers at Simpson, who has had admittedly in a good game, but before that, admittedly had a rough month stretch.
But before that, he was good. So
he was really good before that. And I would point more to the fact that Alabama is among the FBS leaders in drops. I believe they lead the SEC in drops. They have no running game and their offensive line isn't very good. It's weird to say Ty Simpson being at Alabama is in the worst situation of the top quarterback in this class. Which that's a wild statement. You wouldn't normally expect that from an Alabama
outside of Caden Proctor, that line's terrible.
Yeah, and Proctor himself, I don't think he's been like incredible this year.
He hasn't been he's been good, but not as good as I thought he'd be.
Right. People were talking about him as a top 10 pick. He's not going to be a top 10.
The only lineman I think is going to go top 10 is Spencer Fano.
Yes. Yeah. It's not a good option.
He's a right tackle too. And so is Mauigoa. They're both right tackles.
Maybe some what's the other Utah?
Caleb Lomo.
Caleb
Bleacher Report does not like him. They ranked him in like the 50s.
He's like an upside evaluation, I think. Is my
the guy from Texas, Gooseby, has been rising lately.
Oh, I haven't
Trevor Gooseby. Yeah, he's been.
I gotta check him
Mustard Overlord. Geno is probably washed, but it's worth bringing up how trash the Raiders line is as a possible.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation. Like the play calling, the coaching staff's a mess. The offensive line is a disgrace. He's throwing to Jack Besh and Dante Thornton. Like it's a really bad situation.
Brian Sternbeck, Tyler Shuck attempted 32 passes in the first half. Did the Jets run over Kellen Moore's dog?
Yeah, it was crazy. That was the most, I believe it was tied for the most that any quarterback had attempted in a half this year, or at least maybe in a first half.
Let's go with Vinicius Cristello again. We play the AFC West and NFC North next year. That's true. It's not going to be pretty.
That is very unfortunate. Well,
this year we got the NFC South and the AFC. This was the easy year. This was the easy schedule.
I mean, you never know. I think the Bears are certainly due for a come down.
They'll be good, though.
But I don't think they're an 11-12 win team next year. That would be my immediate prediction. Vikings, very dependent on the quarterback situation. Who knows what's going on there? Packers will be good, but Micah,
you got to see what he's like coming back. As Jermaine Johnson has showed, sometimes it takes a year.
Right. Micah is first year back, and then obviously, the Chiefs have the Mahomes situation. The Chiefs were also just not good this year in general.
Raiders will still be bad.
Yeah, I also think the Broncos are due for a little bit of a comeback.
They'll be they'll be good. They're not going to be.
Their defense is still going to be great. I think the Bears and Broncos have just gotten so lucky in one-score games this year that I just
Patriots too a little bit.
Yeah, they haven't.
But they'll be good because of the Patriots and the Jets.
Yeah, those are good teams still too.
Sure. Brian Sternbeck, we need to start fast and sustain it. Brady Cook, quarterback of a team that has failed to score a first-half touchdown in 8 of 15 games.
Yeah. It's hard to start fast when you got quarterback play like that. And at least the defense didn't completely shit the bed.
They competed.
Like in the first half. They competed in the first half, as opposed to the last 2 weeks where they allowed 35 points combined in the first quarter, and both games were effectively over after 15 minutes. At least the defense kept them in it longer than 15 minutes this time.
Let's go now to Mustard Overlord. Do we ruin the no interceptions bet by getting one against Mitch Trubisky in Week 18?
Allen will play that game. I think Allen probably plays, right? Like they're probably going to be competing for something, I would think. Like what? Now I got to look at the standings. So will they be competing? So obviously they're going to have a wild card spot. I mean, yeah, they'll be. The Chargers are also 11-4, so they're probably going to keep competing for. That would be home field, right? In the first round.
Well, Denver's got to win right now. It's 7-7 between them and the Jaguars. They just got the ball back. Denver did.
The top wild card team gets home field in the first round, right?
No, you're making that up.
No. You're
so
right,
the Panthers are going to get a home playoff game, and the Rams don't because football.
Right.
Let's go. Let's go to Mustard Overlord because he's got a bunch. I remember when I found out Tua is a natural right-hander, and his dad forced him to play lefty. No, his dad forced him to throw lefty because he is left-handed, and he wanted his son to be left-handed even though he is right-handed, which is just crazy. That's nuts.
That feels like
it's the opposite. Because back in the day, left hand was like the devil hand, so they would teach you to be right-handed even if you were left-handed. He did it the other way. No wonder this guy. The fact he's even as successful as he is in the NFL, and he's throwing with his offhand. Imagine if Tua was the next Dan Marino right-handed. He might be.
We'll never know.
Apparently, he writes and does everything else right-handed. So.
Right.
Mustard Overlord. I'm losing faith in Mechie. The drop rate is really concerning.
Did was it a drop today, or was that just I thought it was bad ball?
I think it was both. I think it hit him in the hands, but it was bad throw.
Yeah. I'm more confident for sure in Mitchell being a part of the plans next year than Mechie. Mitchell, he's
come on strong lately.
He is, and there was a nice tidbit here from Samini in his article this morning where he mentioned that the coaches have been really impressed with his work ethic. He's the first guy that shows up to practice and all that stuff. Like that goes a really long way, especially for a guy who I don't want to say that he had like perceived character concerns in Indianapolis, but there was some stuff like beyond his on.
He needed like a wake up call.
Yeah, and I really
being traded to the Jets is quite a wake up call for an NFL player.
It really sounds like this gave it to him, and he's been a lot better with his the lack of drops in recent weeks, and he's been very solid for them, and he gives you that deep play threat that this Jets offense really, really needs. Because while Garrett Wilson's amazing, and I think you can use him in that role, that's not his best. His best role is not as a go route wide receiver. That's never going to be Garrett Wilson's like biggest strength as a player. But it is Adonai Mitchell's, and Mitchell has shown that he can be more than that as well. I think he is one of your top 3 receivers next year. Not so sure about Mitch.
You know my favorite like negative Jets fan thing is right now? They go, Aaron Glenn sucks. He hired bad coaches. Fields fire. What do you think about Darren Mucci? Oh, I like him. He's good. The Sauce trade was good. Oh, you don't think Aaron Glenn okayed those Sauce and Quentin Williams trades?
The coach always gets blamed before the GM. It always seems to happen. At least, especially with the Jets. Joe Douglas, I mean, and we were among those who defended Joe Douglas at times for years, which, by the way, another report came out, Connor Hughes yesterday or 2 days ago said that, and not that we shouldn't be shocked by this, the Jets never even considered Jackson Smith-Njigba at pick 15, which obviously we knew that because they didn't have a first-round grade on him. They had a first-round grade on Malachi Corley, or damn near a first-round grade, but they did not have a first-round grade on Jackson Smith.
He's basically a running back now. That's how they're using him in Cleveland.
Yeah. Amazing wide receiver value. Truly remarkable.
Let's go with Brian Sternbeck. I didn't dig too deeply into it, but I have cause for concern about a rookie head coach firing a coordinator in the middle of his first season. Prior to 2025, the last examples I can find were Antonio Pierce fired his OC after 9 games. Steve Wilkes fired his OC after 6 games in 2018. Who was that year? And then Vance Joseph in 2017 fired his OC. So it was all defensive guys firing their OC, not defensive guys firing their defensive coordinator.
Yeah. So
I find that interesting.
Firing on your own side of the ball is
Norv Turner. Whoa.
Well, so we're talking only midseason, not
wait. No. Oh wait, no. That was I was looking up the Panthers, not the Cardinals. Hold on.
Sorry, wait. I missed part of that. Are we talking only midseason? Or are we talking like after 1
midseason? Year? Oh, Byron Leftwich. Okay.
I was gonna say obviously Dan Campbell fired Anthony Lynn after 1 year, so yeah. Glenn just didn't wait 3 more games to do it. I don't want to read like too much into the midseason versus after year 1 because it's a difference of 3 games. I don't think it's that crazy of a thing. You can just again point to the Lions as like the team that it worked for, right? Doesn't mean it's gonna work for the Jets, but a similar thing where Dan Campbell realized that the veteran offensive guy they brought in was not good, so he fired him and replaced him with a young upstart defensive guy or offensive guy. The Jets are doing the exact same thing with Aaron Glenn on the defensive side of the ball. Will it work?
And look, if it worked before, why won't it work this time?
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of examples, but not working as well.
I know, but
no, it doesn't.
Like if you just came from something where the exact same situation happened and it worked, you would think if I do the exact same thing, it will work here.
And that's why I do really think there's a very real chance that Chris Harris earns the job. I don't think that it's like guaranteed, but I think he's at least going to interview.
Lions are big internal promoters. So.
I think even if the defense completely falls apart against Buffalo and New England, he's going to at least interview. Probably wouldn't get the job at that point. But if they hold their own against 2 very good offenses, or, well, do I even want to call Buffalo a very good offense at this point? I don't even know if I could do that. It's good. It should be better. At the
what if it's like an Antonio Pierce kind of thing, but for a coordinator where they're slightly better than unwatchable? The players get behind him. They say, we want Chris Harris. Then they bring him back, and then he stinks.
It would suck, wouldn't it?
I know it would suck. I'm just saying you got to consider it. It would be terrible, but you got to consider it.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing, Mike. That'd be terrible. I don't want that to happen, though.
Okay.
It wouldn't be good.
It would not be good. Vinicius Cristello. I don't like Fields, but the run game died after they benched him.
Is that true?
It's been bad the last like month and a half, but it's Brady Cook, so
I think there's something to that. That might not be like the worst take, but it doesn't mean that you have to you can go back to Fields. Like I think there's give and take.
Fields is never playing for the Jets again.
No, Fields is you are more likely, and I don't mean this as a joke. You're more likely to see Hendon Hooker play snaps for the Jets this year than Justin Fields. Fields will not be active for another game this year unless they're just desperate and everyone got hurt. But like.
Fields then, I don't know.
Even if Fields is healthy, he'll be QB3 next week. And if Tyrod gets hurt or Brady Cook gets hurt, Hendon Hooker is active as QB2.
Brady Cook not cooking 1 touchdown, 7 turnovers.
Yeah, that's tough. That's like Bryce Petty numbers.
Almost like we have years of film that told us he would have done that, and then nobody wanted to watch it or listen to me.
You are Brady Cook's number 1 hater. So
I'm Brady Cook's fans' number 1 hater.
Yeah.
Because they put this guy in a pedestal for no reason. For absolutely no reason and for no benefit.
They just want to cling on to hope, man. They just want to be hopeful. They want to have optimism. I get it. I understand it. It's the plight of Jets fans.
Well, the Zach Wilson fans just wanted optimism.
No, that was different. That was number 2 overall pick. A lot invested in the guy. This is undrafted rookie starting 3 games down the stretch. Who gives a shit? Like, I don't...
One of my days got ruined because I saw that clip. It was the Rodgers year, the Achilles year.
Yeah.
When they were playing the Patriots and it was 4th and 10, he threw a check down at the line of scrimmage on 4th and 10 to win the game.
Was that? Oh no! So I thought you were going to say that's the because just the Jermaine Johnson edit that he liked that people were all
No. That was the Cowboys blew him out week 2. I remember that year.
Yeah.
And then week 3 they played the Patriots. It was 15-10, 4th and 10, and he throws to Tyler Conklin, 1 yard in the flat.
Kyler Tonklin.
Yep. And then there you go, honky tonk man, and then he lost. Minshew tore his ACL too. Yes.
Yeah. Disastrous, man. I mean, Chiefs fans aren't even like upset about it because they probably at this point, weirdly to say this, but they want draft position, right? So I guess they're like we're already eliminated.
They want Jeremiah Love, man.
They might get
him. Him and Mahomes would be pretty good.
They very well might get him because what team's drafting a running back top 10? I don't know. I don't know if any team should be doing that.
Chiefs are.
Top 10.
It might be. Mustard Overlord. I don't want to see a copy of that aspect of the Lions, the whole internally. I want a turbo outside hire, like somebody from the Mike McDonald tree in Seattle.
Maybe. There's a lot of options that can go. There's a lot of different routes they can go. Mike McDonald tree would be interesting. So who's in?
McDonald calls the plays over there, so even their DC.
Yeah, who's in Seattle right now?
Aiden Durd.
Anybody? So Carl Scott is their pass game coordinator. He'd probably be someone that you'd look at. 40 years old. He's been in Seattle the last 4 years, so he's been there a while.
I wonder if they could do, because I've seen guys mention, like for OC vacancies, not for the Jets, but for other teams, looking at a guy like a Grant Udinsky or a Wes Phillips and being like, hey, you could be the OC here and you can call the plays. So they probably give him some other title.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have an assistant head coach, but if they hire like Aiden Durd and be like, all right, and you can call the plays now. Just bring Mike McDonald's playbook and then you can call the plays and then that's your DC.
The Jets do not have an assistant head coach.
They could give him that title, and then there you go.
That is a title that is open. They do not have that. You know us in Seattle's staff, their linebackers coach is Josh Bynes. Remember Josh Bynes?
For the Ravens, right?
Yeah, he was like Ravens linebacker. Like he had like 5 stints with them. He would always get released and re-signed and released and re-signed.
Oh, Aiden Durd is British. I didn't even know that.
Oh, is their DC?
Yeah, the Seahawk guy we were just talking about. He was born in Middlesex, England. Yeah, and he lived there his whole life.
Middlesex is the most London or most England.
There's a Middlesex, New Jersey, so
there is. I know Middlesex is just such a British sounding.
Oh, he played for the Scottish Claymores in the NFL Europe.
Wow.
And the Hamburg Sea Devils.
The Hamburg Sea Devils, I think, still exist. No, or
yeah, they're in some new iteration of them.
Yeah,
and he was DC for the London Warriors, who were also the London Cobras. So very British, man.
What a career! Good for him.
Let's go, JJ. Who do you want to win the Giants versus Raiders game?
Absolutely Raiders. That you have to be rooting Raiders. Like
because if the Raiders get you need somebody to trade up with to be number one, and the Raiders wouldn't, and the Browns wouldn't. It's
as simple as the Raiders are competing with the Jets for a quarterback, and the Giants are not. Although Dart did not look good today, but
they're not going to replace him.
Obviously, they're not. I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, obviously the Giants are not taking a quarterback. The Raiders.
Dart's eggs are all scrambled. No wonder he looks bad.
Brian
Flores defense on a rookie plus cracked egg equals,
fair.
Plus Wan'Dale Robinson, wide receiver 1. That's cracked what you get.
Jesus Christ, cracked egg. Yeah, no,
he's got 5 concussions already, or
it's been tough. It's been a real tough year for.
I do think, one thing I'll defend him on. I do think they are targeting him now. Where if he does anything, they bring him in there, but it's his fault.
There was some report, I think, or maybe an actual quote from a coach where it was we are they're coaching their players to treat him like a runner because he plays like a runner. He doesn't go out of bounds, and they have coached it. Which players.
Is weird because he did not run at Ole Miss.
No, but it's just the mentality thing. It's just a mentality thing with him.
With that, I think we're gonna wrap up this episode of the Jet Press podcast. Not much to go on here. They're closer to a quarterback. I don't know if they'll get one, but they are in a better spot to get one than they were before. And that's all you can hope for right now.
I'm just realizing again, Mike, now. I don't know if we can stream. We can't stream Wednesday because Wednesday's Christmas Eve. I'll not be around. So it could be
might do something Tuesday. Keep an eye on that.
Tuesday might be a good time for us to stream, I think we should do Tuesday. Because we missed last Wednesday, unfortunately. I was out of town, but it's been we only got 2 weeks without a make.
This is how big decisions are made about this podcast.
Yeah, it's literally live on air. We do this every time.
Shooting from the hip like this.
Totally not do this, but whatever, man. But yeah, man. Any final thoughts? Jets aren't good. They lost again. They're at least one pick higher in the
I
draft.
can't bring myself to get mad about this. I know fans will. I can't do it.
You're
How
not
do you
mad.
do that?
You just get mad about hypothetical scenarios 3 years from down the line. That's when you take out your anger.
Yeah. Like if I get upset, like I immediately think like, oh, and then this will happen, and that'll happen, and that'll happen. Like that's what I do. But like in the moment,
Yes.
like what am I gonna? How mad can I get that Brady Cook didn't go on the road and beat a team that had won 2 games in a row
I'm not mad.
in a game that fans wanted to lose anyway? So now what? They're not losing correctly? Like, give me a break.
By the way, just random thought popped in my head. How bad is it that Zach Will Quinn Ewers stinks, bro, and Zach Wilson can't even beat him out? Just a thought that popped in my mind because I saw the Dolphins score again. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Ewers actually in the first half was playing very well from what I saw.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was actually making a lot of good throws. I was talking to a couple guys that do our Dolphin stuff, and they all were like, "Oh, this looks so much better than it did with Tua." And then one wasn't his fault. One it hit a guy here, and then the guy like popped it out and it went up and got picked. So one wasn't his fault. But
Raiders got a chance here. They're at the 14 right now. They're only down 7. I thought I saw Geno had a touchdown earlier. Oh,
he had a pick 6. No, a touchdown to the Texans.
Dude, I fucking hate Sleeper. Sleeper sent out a notification like Geno's been touchdown. I was like, oh wow, good for him. And it was
technically true.
Technically correct. The best type of corrects. But anyway, until next time, thank you all for joining us on the show today. You can follow Mike on Twitter at @ByMikeChan. Follow me on Twitter, Justin Fried. Follow Jet Press at the Jet Press. Download Jet Press Podcast wherever you get your podcast. Check us out on YouTube and TikTok. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. You guys know what to do. We stream live normally every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. I believe we'll be streaming live this Tuesday, probably at the same time. I will make sure to post an update on Twitter this time. And we stream live immediately following every single Jets game. Thank you all for listening to Jet Press Podcast. I've been Justin Fried. That is Mike Luciano. Happy early holidays, although we'll probably see you again before the full holidays kick in. But happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Hopefully there was a 6'5" quarterback wrapped under the Jets tree this year.
Hey, and happy Hanukkah to my brother.
Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Boxing Day.
Absolutely.
Because we got some European listeners. Happy holidays.